Hey everyone, welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. This is
Luke Smith.
And we are ready to continue our playthrough of Golem Arcana, right?
Yes.
Yes. Nobody has been defeated yet. None of the golems have taken a dive to the dirt. But you obviously have one that is close.
You too.
I do as well. Both our little guys are kind of in trouble. Although you probably did the smart thing and got it away. So I cannot get victory points for it. So I'm going to need some help here, and I got it. The viewer who proposed a suggestion that got the most votes was Canyon Lynn. So let's go to the table and see if there was a suggestion provided that's going to help me get a little further ahead. Now, just before I execute Canyon Lynn's recommended suggestion, I'm going to modify it slightly. I know everyone's probably concerned when I start calling audibles because, is my judgment better than all of your judgment? Probably not. But one of the things that Canyon Lynn wants me to do is use the Fire Ram special ability to blast the wood guard out of the space. But before I do that, I think I will have my Horned Blight do an attack against the wood guard before hopefully we push it out of the space, because still the Horned Blight can't move. So hopefully at least, while it's got a target in range, it can do a little bit of damage with this gore attack. Let's see. A 28 is a hit. And that did a pretty decent amount of damage. So now we're going to go ahead and use the Fire Ram special ability. I'm going to point at its knight and then confirm its ability. This is that blowback ability we used in the first gameplay episode. And now I'm going to do a blast attack targeting the wood guard once again. And hopefully this is going to be enough not only to damage it, but push it out of the space.
Oh boy.
Yes, there it is. Okay, so 15 more damage, and we're pushing it. So we're going to confirm to resolve the displacement, and the application is going to tell us the direction in which this unit should be moved, so it goes back here. We confirm that, and now I have 2 action points left over. Next, Canyon Lynn would like me to use the Winged Preserver to attack the Devil Djinn. Now, if I had not attacked with the Horned Blight, I would have 4 action points at this time. However, because the cooldown has not resolved on the Winged Preserver's ranged attacks, I would only have been able to use the Lightning Bolt anyway. And that would cost me 2 action points. I have 2 action points left over, but the amount of hit points that they would do in damage is 8. So that's not a big dent on this Devil Djinn. I'm almost thinking at this point I should end my turn, because then I can convert any unused action points into mana. And mana has been quite helpful to me, and I have this relic I'd really like to use as well. So Canyon, I'm going to make another slight deviation from your suggestion. This is probably going to cost me, and if it does, you can blame me. But I'm going to end my turn here and convert the 2 action points to mana as it confirms. You'll notice the control card is here on the board. Luke, why is that?
Because I'm going to be rolling some dice.
Are you? Okay.
First, I'm going to move my Devil Djinn
Yes.
right over here.
Oh, coming to fight my little Horned Blight. What has he ever done to you?
Not much. Now, I'm going to use the Liquid Fire on you.
Right, now before you confirm the attack, instead you're going to enter the dice. So Luke is going to test his luck with the dice roll. You need to get, knock over your own wood guard there. Good, good. And you needed, oh my goodness, you needed a 75 or less. 27, so you got to enter that in here on the pad. 27, enter. And wow, that was a big hit, and boom, it's going to blow up my little Horned Blight. And you got a victory point for that.
Yes.
So I'm going to remove this from the table. Clearly, you have no trouble with these dice. And we'll take the control card back as well and see what Luke wants to do next.
I'm done beating you up.
Thanks, Luke.
For now.
For now, all right. Well, I'll take any breaks I can get.
Now I'm going to move the wood guard
Yes.
over here.
Oh, you can't get there.
Over here.
Okay, sure, that will work. So the wood guard is moved in, and you still have 2 action points left.
Move in again.
Now this is, I have to say, I think this is pretty clever. My Fire Ram's attacks are all ranged. So being here, you're making it a little harder for me to attack, certainly the wood guard at this point.
Yeah.
All right, so Luke's going to end his turn, and it's over to me. Well, Luke has pretty successfully jammed up my Fire Ram for now. So I'm going to change where my focus of attention is, and I'm going to use my Winged Preserver, and I'm going to walk as far as I can, which is not terribly far, unfortunately, because all this terrain is slowing down my movement. But I'm going to confirm the movement to here. Then I'm going to use my flying ability, and I'm going to get right over here. Oh, not quite. I can't quite get to the control area I want to be at. So I'm going to go here instead. And that's going to give me a new opportunity. I'm going to attack Luke's sand lion and see if I can get my revenge. I am not going to use the dice.
Go.
But I am going to use the lightning bolt. I'm going to target the sand lion.
Oh, please.
I need a 64 or less. Here we go. 28!
Oh.
There it is. There's a successful hit. And the sand lion has been defeated and removed from the board. And that is going to end my turn. Not too bad, if I do say so myself.
Well, for my first action, I'm going to move my Devil Jin to your Winged Preserver space.
I don't like the looks of this, especially when you look at how much mana Luke has right now. You might be wondering, where did he get all that mana from? Well, when you lose one of your golems, a certain percentage of their army point value is returned to you in mana. It's 20%. And that includes any knights that the golem had as well. And Luke was also on this space alone, so this mana well has been depleted. You gained even more mana from that. So you're flush with mana, and that worries me greatly. What are you planning to do?
Ancient One!
Right. You don't want to spend everything you've earned too quickly, Luke. He's going right for the Fury's Claws. This is going to give 15 melee damage for all of his melee attacks this round. Okay, so I suspect some attacks are happening, yes?
Liquid Fire.
Liquid Fire. Now, question. Are you sure you want to do this?
Yes!
Okay, go ahead and confirm. Oh, a 94. Oh my goodness. How fortunate was I there? Now, what are you going to do?
Crush.
A crush attack against the Winged Preserver. Oh, and that time was a hit. And that was a big hit. That was going to do more damage. Although, your Liquid Fire, that's the one that does the ongoing damage?
Yeah.
Is that right?
So, yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad you missed on that. What are you going to do next?
Ancient One again.
Oh, what are you doing? Haze of the Dam. Now, this is an interesting one. You have to pick the region that you want to use this in. Okay, and this is sort of like a curse that we're putting on this region. Enemy golems in this area now have the accuracy of their melee attacks reduced by 20.
Yep.
Now, why are you doing that?
Because they're probably going to attack me.
Right, I probably am. So that's going to limit the ability of my Winged Preserver to do successful attacks, melee attacks, in that space. And the game comes with these blessing and curse tokens. We're just going to put a curse token here as kind of a visual reminder that we have a curse that I have to worry about. Are you done beating up on me, Luke?
No.
I didn't think so. What's next?
Pummel from
pummel
the
attack.
Wood Guard.
Onto the fire. And wow, look at the damage
Oh my gosh.
this is going to do here.
Wowie.
38 damage. Go ahead. And you just managed to land that hit with a 64. You needed 69. Tell me you're done.
Yes.
You're done. Good. I don't think anyone would question the fact that Luke just had a power turn. You did crazy devastation.
Okay, can we skip the congratulations? And as a teaser, my next turn is going to be even more powerful.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Oh, dear. Okay, so what that means is I need to have an amazing turn. I need to...
Not going to happen.
Well, listen, with good strategic planning and lucky dice rolling, it will happen. Well, hopefully. Let's go back to the table and see. Luke has really messed me up with this curse that he landed on this position. If that wasn't here, I'd be very tempted to use my mana. You'll notice I have a lot more mana as well because I lost one of my golems. And I'd love to drop my Bone Gate Totem. This is an effect that basically drops an enemy there that can do 2 free attacks, no action point costs, to enemies in that space.
No, thank you. Goodbye.
Well, yeah, I don't really want to do it in this space anymore because the effectiveness of these attacks is greatly reduced. So I think instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my fly to move to this position because the Winged Preserver, when it flies and leaves a location, does 10 damage to all enemies there. So you'll notice we just registered 10 damage against the Devil Jin. Now from here, I'm going to actually drop my Bone Gate Totem. So I'm going to tap on that relic, and I'm going to place it here so that if Luke does decide to come into this location, then there's going to be an extra enemy here for Luke to face. I'm going to flip this over here, and that's there. Now I have 3 action points left, and I'm going to use my Stumbling Quake. And with this attack, I'm going to, again, target the Devil Jin. And if this lands a successful hit, it's going to reduce his movement points by 2, which I believe will make it impossible for him to get into this space. Because he's going to need 2 movement points to get into this space, but the effect will reduce him to 1. Let's confirm that attack. 32, it's a hit. And I did a little bit of damage. I have 1 action point left and nothing here that cost me 1 action point, so I'm just going to end my turn. Now, when Luke and I were talking a couple seconds ago, I just said Luke had a power turn, and you said you've got another one coming.
Yeah.
I interfered with that a little bit, didn't I?
Yes.
Yes. By using that stumbling quake on the Devil Jin, I'm now preventing Luke from being able to enter the space that I need to be alone in order to collect victory points. So you're not going to be able to do anything to stop that, which is...
But, before I continue, I have a backup plan.
Oh, he's got a backup plan. Let's go to the table and find out what it is.
Okay, first I'm going to pummel your fire ram.
This
it could kill you.
This could knock me right out here, but you have to get 69 or less. Go ahead and confirm. Ooh. 99, which is...
Crit! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Oh, 99 is higher than 69, so that would normally be a miss, but doubles
oh my gosh.
Are a crit. So the attack still happened, and that knocked out my fire ram. Wowzers. Okay, so even when you miss, you hit.
Yep.
Scary. So what are you doing now?
Walking.
Where are you walking?
But with my knight,
okay.
I'm going to use this.
So you're going to give up 5 damage. Oh, I know what you're doing. You're going.
Hello there.
You're going straight to the control point.
Yep.
Of course you are. Oh no. So now you're alone and able to collect victory points at the start of your turn.
Yes.
Okay, you have 3 action points left. Are
Nasty.
You're not done. You're still doing things. You're going to lava lance my wing preserver.
That's actually pretty good damage.
Not too bad. You need 62 or less. This will use up all your action points.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. You don't get to have everything you want, thankfully. Okay, end of turn and over to me. Well, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. The good news is I'm sitting alone on a control point. So at the start of my turn, I gained 2 victory points. I now have a total of 3. The problem is Luke has 3 victory points and he's sitting alone over here on a control point. So at the start of his next turn, he's going to win. So I'd have to somehow defeat him from here, which I cannot do. If I look at my attacks, I have Stumbling Quake, which is going to cost me 4 action points. And at best, it would chip down his health about halfway. And then I would be able to use my Lightning Bolt, and that would take a little bit more off, but not enough to defeat him. So that means instead, I need to spend my turn running over here so that he's not alone in this space. So that's what I'm going to do. First, I am going to fly. I think I'm going to have to go to this space here. And then I'm going to walk into this space with Luke here. So, not terribly exciting, but it's kind of necessary, don't you think, Luke?
Yeah.
Well, now I have 1 action point left over. Do I want to use it? I have a lightning bolt attack I could do, perhaps try to swing back over here and hit the Devil Jin. But at this point, I'm thinking if I'm going to have a shot at this, I might need to save the cooldown on these attacks until the next turn. We'll see. So I'll end my turn and pass it over to Luke.
Well, I've got a double problem. First, I can't win this turn.
Right, because I'm sitting in the control space with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Second, if you kill my wood guard, you win.
Right, because this is going to give me 2 victory points. What are you going to do then?
Pummel.
You're going to pummel me. Okay, you're going to get a parting shot. Oh, 67 or less. Go ahead.
Doubles.
64. Well, that did a lot of damage to me.
Yes.
What are you going to do with your remaining action points?
Going to use my knight.
Okay. You're going to activate it.
Yes.
And then what?
And then I'm going to run.
You're going to run. Right, to make it a little harder for me to defeat you. That is probably not a bad idea. You have 0 action points, so it's over to me. Well, Watch It Played viewers, you may be about to witness my first ever win of Golem Arcana against Luke.
Or a loss.
Or it's still, yeah, I could still roll my typical way, which is poorly, but I have something, a little trick up my sleeve to try to help me with that. The first thing I'm going to do is walk, and I'm going to use the walk action to move my wing preserver, hopefully within range of this wood guard. And before I attack, I'm going to call on the help of my Ancient Ones. And I have lots of mana to spend here, and I'm going to use it on the Infallible ability. Now I have to tap a region that I'm going to target. I'm going to target this one here. And now I'm going to confirm to activate. And this is going to give me 30 accuracy for all of my attacks. I'm going to gain that accuracy. And I'm going to put a little blessing token here just as a reminder. Now, when I go to do my attacks, for example, I'm going to do a Stumbling Quake against the wood guard. I have to roll a 95 or less. Surely I can do that. Let's see. At 8. So that's a hit, but not enough to defeat Luke. He still has, what, one? I think you have one hit point left. Okay, so now I'm going to use the Lightning Bolt, and I need to roll 100 or less. I think I can do that. And there's a 45, and that defeats the wood guard, and I remove it from the board, and then I've gained 2 additional victory points, and there it is. I won the game. I thought you had me on the ropes for most of this episode. And then fortunately I was able to get in here, stop you from getting the control point, and then defeat one of your guys. I had trouble getting mana early on in the game. Normally I would try to get this awesome relic down in your control point, and I couldn't make that happen. So I had to find another way of doing it. But that was a really close game either way. Yeah. Thanks for your help. Hopefully you guys have a sense now of how Golem Arcana works. There's lots of other scenarios. Some of the scenarios that you play, actually during the scenario, it will prompt you and say, hey, you want some more victory points? Here's a side quest. Go and rescue this person in a different quadrant, or go and explore this area. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so there's sort of like living elements of the scenarios that can come up. Anyway, if you have any questions at all, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'll gladly answer them as soon as I get a chance.
Good game.
Thank you very much, Luke. Good game. Great playing with you. And until the next episode, thanks for watching.